Good morning, Patreons. Looks like I started right on time. You guys give me a sound check, 5x5, something like that. It'll be greatly appreciated. Looks like we have activity in all chats. Current score starting YouTube 21, Rumble 11, which is kind of new. Hopefully, you guys have got your coffee and you're ready to talk about the things of the day. I've got a current poll set up right now related to this subject. The question on the poll is, what government actions would trigger you to bug out? Currently, 40% say declaration of martial law, 13% say widespread curfews and lockdowns, 7% says mandatory confiscation. And I think I probably could have written that sentence a little bit better. I can only put bullets in there. And then 40% say detentions without due process. So let's see. I think, well, you know what? Let's tell you what, I've got to try and remember. I've got to try and remember to do promotions. I've got two great promotions for you guys that one is Amazon related, the other is company related, but there's some significant savings in there as well. So hopefully I will remember to do them during the live stream. Starting with the on the Rumble side, looks like we're West Virginia Pappy first, Andy Pearson number 2. And we're still looking for deterred. On the Rumble side, if you haven't checked in, please do so now and stop being slackers. Let's see here. West Virginia says Rumble is behind YouTube. And Andy says, come on, Rumblers, get your stuff together. All right, so let's go ahead and check on the YouTube side. What do we got here? West Virginia Pappy, who's super omnipresent once again. First, Catitude number 2, and David Edwards is deterred. We got Rose in the house. We got Jordan. Let's see here. Catitude is here. Nick Laterio. Nick, I'm just going to call you Nick. Let's see here. Tina Price. What do we got? We got Cool Coat, and Cuck V. Let's see. Ian's in the house. Let's see here. Serious. What is this? Everybody's giving me the 5x5. Timoteo's in the house. Good to see you, bro. Let's see here. James Trump is here, and Tuck is in the house. All right, guys. Let's see here. And you guys actually got some stuff in the comments already. I guess I've got your brains all firing on all 27 cylinders. Crap, I picked the wrong one by accident. I don't know what that I don't know what that means, but I'm going to put it on the screen. Let's see. Catitude says mine is detention without due process. Let's see here. Lots of good mornings. Nick says, honestly, any one of those is a good reason to bug out. Yes, actually, you're going to find out very quickly that is actually a trigger. They all belong to a single trigger. Let's see here. Lockdown or curfew would be the last reason. Good morning for everyone's People Republic. Good morning from everyone from the People's Republic of Michigan. Shut up, phone. Let's see. Hold on. See here. Yeah, did enough detention in school. And if you think you're confiscating anything, well, I wish you luck. There you go. There you go. What do we got here? Let's see. James says, hey, everyone from hot, dry East Tennessee. Yeah, the temperature has been kind of crazy here, even on the eastern shore of Virginia. It's only very temperate here. It's very, it's weather-wise, it's a great place. The hurricanes kind of dodge us. The heat never really truly kills us. We haven't had snow, like a real snow, since 2020, I think. 2021 maybe. But yeah, it's actually pretty mild. Okay, let's see. I never get to be a turd. Tuck says I never get to be turd. You got to log in quickly, man. You got to log in when the game starts and wait for it, and just wait for it. Okay, let's see another admin note before we get started, guys. I don't know what it is. I can't give it away. I can't give it away. People keep winning this thing. People keep winning this thing. And I tried to give it away on the YouTubes, and then I tried to give it away on the Rumbles, and then I tried to give it away in the Patreon, and now that's where it's staying. It's staying in the Patreon. I keep trying to give this thing away, and I do drawings. People show up, they're all excited, and then they win, and then I send them a message saying, "Hey, you won. I need to talk to you." And then poof, they disappear. Or they I'm just gonna set you back over here. Let's set you back here in the box. There you go. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna give it away to the Patreons this Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm gonna we normally have our Patreon meetings at 7 o'clock on Thursdays, but due to the holiday, this last holiday following on the first Thursday of the month, the Gun Club moved their meetings to this Thursday, which kind of screws with the Patreon meeting. So yeah, now you know that. So if you're not a Patreon, you can't win it. And you got to show up. You got to be there. You got to be present too. No more of this lollygagging. This thing's got to go out the door, or it's going to go on the shelf. It's going to get into the inventory. And well, I win either way, but you only lose one way. So if you're not a Patreon, get your ass in the Patreon. There is a link in the description. Okay, so let's see. Enough of that. Enough of that stuff. We got a few more people popping in. Looks like Hicktown Honey. No, Hicktown Honey, you are deterred. Andy says, I have enough handhelds. I know that's blasphemy to say, but 6 is plenty. I completely understand it, but I live by a simple philosophy. If it's free, it's for me. So let's see. We got some people popping in. We got Jordan. We got Loretta. We got Oops showed up. I think we had another one pop in here. Ian showed up. Let's see. And Ian is testimony that if you play, you win. He actually won the survival kit. At the last, was that the last? I don't remember if that was a YouTube event or if that was Ian, was that a YouTube event or a Patreon event where you won that survival kit? By the way, that 12-piece survival kit that I custom made and gave to a YouTuber, I asked him, it's like, hey, send me a picture, show me that let's show people that things really happen. And oh yeah, sure, no problem. Crickets. They got their kit, and then they disappeared. All right, let's see here. We can't decide if we're wild or wonderful or almost heaven here. I got you, West Virginia. Ian says I gave that kit away on a YouTube event. I got you. Let's see here. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. We've been lollygagging. Before we start it, currently the question in the poll is, with 22 votes, what government actions would trigger YouTube bug out? Currently winning 55% declaration of martial law. Now, what I've been doing is kind of doing, if you guys didn't know this, there's a lot of research that goes into these videos that I do every day. This has almost become a full-time job. I normally eat about 5 hours a day just preparing. And then for the day prior's YouTube video or live stream, man, my brain pill is not working today. And then that hour that I give to you guys. So like almost 6 hours a day goes into these things. And when my goal is to drag us away from the political mumbo jumbo, we all know it's a joke. We all know what's going to happen. But we also know that there's some sneaky bastards out there, and we have to be very cautious to make sure that we are prepared if they do something really stupid. You guys give me 1 second. I need to check something right now. I need to make sure that, okay, it's right. Good. It's set right. Good. You guys may also notice there are some new buttons down below on the YouTube side. If you decide to use them, that is up to you. Okay. So with that said, trigger points, I've kind of come up with some detailed explanations, or should I say expansions, on each of the 5 triggers that I know will make somebody do something. I know it's not, this isn't, I don't feel good today, I need to run to the woods trigger. These are like legitimate triggers that should make you do something. Okay. Let alone bug out. Let's see here to start. What about the trigger point to start it all? Rose says that's just the thing. The trigger point to start it all. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay. everybody's looking for this one little item, and there's no such thing. There's no such thing. You know, if you're looking for Harry Weinstein to wind his clock backwards on a Tuesday in an odd year, an odd numbered year, that's never going to happen, guys. That's never going to happen. Looking for that particular thing is never going to happen. But what you can do is you can pay attention to what's happening in your world, your surroundings, and we're going to go over at least 5 of those things today. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off right there. We're going to take a sip of coffee. Lasers showed up. Good morning, LP and Prepper fam. Good morning to you, my friends. Also, guys, if you have not hit that thumbs up, do me a favor, hit that now. It draws more people in here. Also, if you like these questions, or should I say polls that I'm doing, I know on the Rumble side I have to do them verbally, but on the YouTube you can see them and interact with them. If you like these and you want me to continue doing this, do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat. It'll make the algorithm happy. Okay. All right, let's see here. So getting on to it. So the very first one that I know will make people freak the hell out and bug out is hyperinflation and currency collapse. It's really that easy. You know, giving you a brief explanation, you know, hyperinflation occurs when prices increase rapidly as currency loses its value. This can happen due to excessive money printing, loss of confidence in the currency, or economic mismanagement, which is one of the things that we're starting to see now. Now, what's the impact on your daily life if this happens? You know, as prices soar, people's purchasing power diminishes drastically. Savings become worthless, and people struggle to afford basic necessities. You know, some historic examples of this, and we've probably heard a few of these, is, you know, countries like Zimbabwe in the late 2000s, and Germany during the Weimar Republic. You know, they experienced hyperinflation, leading to severe economic distress, which actually led to like the entire country falling apart and then being rebuilt. Like the Weimar Republic wasn't even like Germany wasn't Germany until the Weimar Republic actually, you know, disappeared, you know, because of hyperinflation. Now, trigger points. If we see rapid and continuous increase in the prices of goods and services, we are not seeing that yet. We are still in an inflationary bubble. But if you see rapid increases in prices, like, you know, it took them 3.5 years to get to 40%. You know, it took them 3.5 years to get, you know, a $1 flashlight to $1.88 before taxes. So basically almost $2, almost double. Okay. So it took them that long. What we're talking about is rapid and continuous increase. Like you start going to you start driving past the gas station every morning, and, you know, the gas goes up 5 cents every day for a week. Guys, that's hyperinflation. There's a problem. You need to act. Also, central banks losing control over monetary policy. So whether we like it or not, we have a central bank system. We call it the Fed. They call it something else in different countries. But you know, if they lose control over monetary policy, basically countries decide to start doing all their own different little things, this could trigger hyperinflation, because then there's no balance. You know, there's no balance in the force anymore if central banks lose control over monetary policy. Now, I am not an advocate of central banks, and I wish they would all go away. But the problem is they can't all go away at once. So it's kind of like the rock makes ripples type brain thought there. And then another thing is, another trigger could be a significant loss of confidence in the currency, both domestically and internationally. You know, we talk about CBDCs. We talk about bricks. Oh, there it is. First y'all of the day, guys. Drink. Mine's really hot, so I can only sip. But yes, this is a significant loss of confidence in currency, both domestically and internationally. This is what we're talking about as far as bricks. You know, there are some issues there that we really have to wrap our heads around, because if we do not, there's going to be a problem. Now, I don't see anything in the comments. I want to thank you guys all for the ones. Uh, Nick says, I left my coffee at home. Enjoy yours, local. That's bad. Pull over now. Put something in the comments about how you feel about the hyperinflation or currency collapse. And then we're going to talk about the bug out considerations linked to this particular trigger. Now, with those bug out considerations that are linked to hyperinflation, the first thing we need to think about is resources. We need to make sure that we've obviously stockpiled essentials like non-perishable foods, water, and medical supplies before inflation escalates. We sense our spidey senses are telling us that for the past 5 days, gas has gone up 5 cents every day. This is a trigger for hyperinflation, and we need to act. So we need to make sure that we do these things, that we have these resources in place before it escalates past that certain point. Because after about a week, all hell is going to break loose as far as within the monetary system, and we have to be aware of that. We have to be ready for that. Okay. We also need to think about alternative currency. We need to have assets in stable foreign currencies, maybe some precious metals or even some cryptocurrency. And we talked about barter yesterday, so we're not going to talk about it today. But that is something that we could think about. But anyway, it's all about when we talk about hyperinflation, it's all about the monies, those dollar signs, and then obviously we need a location. We need to choose a bug out location where self-sufficiency, e.g. farming or renewable energy is possible. It's very common for people to believe that they're just going to grab their pack and go into the woods. I honestly think I've gone back to watching Alone, and I think it's very important for people. I personally think it's a tremendous teaching tool to watch a full series of Alone, a full season. There you go. And I think you will find out very quickly that what you think you're going to be able to do, you're most likely not going to be able to do. So you need to make sure that you have a bug out location. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. If you think you're just going to you're going to grab your backpack and live on the road, hey, good on you. But, good luck with that, because that's not smart. It's not impossible. It's just not smart. So make sure that you have a bug out location to go to, I'm going to go to the chats right now. Looks like Rumble's got a few things popping into it. Andy says currency has been on a steady collapse since getting on the FRB and off the gold standards. Federal Reserve Bank, FRB. Very true. Very true. But, I will have to tell you that there's some problems with being on the gold standard. It used to be that was our standard, and that's where value came from. But here's the thing. There's not enough gold in the world to make all the stuff that we have made, to build the infrastructure that we have built, to create the world that we have created since we went off the gold standard. There's not enough. So it's just like, it's impossible. So there are some good things about going to a Federal Reserve Bank system, but they lose control too easily. They have agendas that are too easy for the layman to pick out as BS. So those are some things to think about. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says hyperinflation will lead to rampant crime. Eventually, yes. Let's see here. Looks like Andy feels the same way. Laser says precious metals will back our new form of currency. Silver and copper are on a steady climb. I believe that to be true as well. Let's see here. I've got the real JB says, what? I don't know. What's going on, JB? I haven't seen you like forever. Let's see here. Nick says, hyperinflation is bad up here in Massachusetts. A half gallon of milk at Walmart was $1.85 on Monday. On Monday, Friday, it was 2015, and they were sold out of every type of milk other than skim. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's not hyperinflation, okay? Because it needs to have a trend, okay? To actually be hyperinflation. It's just inflation, it's stupidity. And I'll be honest with you, this smells of hurricane crazy. I call hurricane crazy is when people like there's a hurricane coming and they go crazy and they have to go to the store right now and buy milk, bread, butter, and bacon. They have to do it. It's like, I don't know why I'm being drawn to the local Walmart. They have to do it. And they'll buy more than they need, you know, then you end up with shortages. Then you end up with price increases. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we had the same problem with toilet paper and paper towels. Remember the thing we cannot speak about here on YouTube? You know that we all went through that made prices go stupid crazy and everything left the shelf because everybody went stupid crazy except for the preppers. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna smell that. But definitely keep your eye on that. Let's see here. Nick also says, my mag and I are doing our bug out route and going to our bug out location this weekend. Nick, that is freaking awesome. It's awesome that you have a mag that you're part of, and it's awesome that you're actually doing stuff in it. That's community, man. That's community. That is actually awesome. Let's see here. Oops says milk was $4.05 a gallon yesterday. Man, I'll be honest with you guys. I have stopped buying milk. I buy the powdered milk that's made for the babies. It's still got the oil and all that other stuff in here. It doesn't store for very long. But I tell you what, my little bucket of milk lasts a hell of a lot longer than your gallon of milk, and that is for sure because I just make it by the cup if I'm going to use it. I only use it for cooking anyway. Maybe if the girlfriend wants to, you know, have milk and cookies, you know, we make a cup there and she has her milk and cookies, and that's about it. I mean, yeah, it's things to think about. What do we got here? James Trump says, oh, what do we got? I'm just going to call you James, man. James says, you can do a gold oil standard, just back the currency with something of value. Yeah, listen, value is value. Here's the thing. What about the value of the reputation of the United States of America? There's a thought. We'd never run out of money, would we? But you got to be able to back that up too if you're going to do that. Let's see here. Rose says the hurricane crazy most of the time was caused by local and national media saying go buy. I believe I've seen some of that, Rose. I believe I've seen some of that. What do we got here? A to Z says November president election season, the turning point. You know, and good to see A to Z. I haven't seen you in a while. That is a possibility. It is a possibility, but I don't really see. That is a possible trigger, but I don't see us going down that path. All right, what do we got here? Cuckv says he's talking to Nick. There's no shortage of milk coming from farms or farmers. I think there's other reasons like the government wanting to get people to stop drinking milk. That's a little tinfoil hatty, but you know what? I've definitely heard worse. I've heard crazier. That's for sure. That is for sure. Legitimate, I would say. All right, so it looks like we are caught up on the where are we at? We are caught up on the comments. We're caught up on the comments. Okay, so I think the first thing that I gotta find something here real quick here, guys. Where are we at? I want to talk to you guys about. I think it's ironic, and it should work now. Let's see where is that link that I want to sell? Say this link better frickin' work, man. This link. Let me check it right now because I'm trying to help you guys. Nope, still not working. Son of a biscuits. Let's see here. Let's try that link right there. Come on. You. Come on. Wheel of doom. Let's go. Spin, spin, spin. Nope, it's still not. It's still not working. All right. So what I was going to tell you guys, and I guess I'll just give you guys the heads up for it today. Parcel Safety has a sale going on. Their link was supposed to go active today. And it's not just directing you to their website. They're doing something kind of unique where they are actually, where are we at here? Parcel Safety, boom. They're actually doing it on Amazon as well. Now, I do not know if my code will work on their Amazon sale. If you guys didn't know, Amazon Day is coming up on the 16th and the 17th. But a lot of them are doing pre-sales. All these companies that are sponsors for Prep Stock, and I got contacted by Parcel yesterday saying, Parcel Safety saying, hey, the sale's going to start. Here's some links you can use to give to your followers, and it's going to save them a little bit of money. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, guys, parcelsafety.com. There's a link in the description. I've changed it now to sponsors of Prep Stock, and you click on that link, and then it'll take you to the parcel, whichever company you want to take a look at. But right now, LocalPrepper 20% off, and then the sales are supposed to start. That link was supposed to go active today on the Amazon, which I won't share a dead link with you. But starting tomorrow, I'll be on them today, and starting tomorrow, hopefully that link will be active, and we'll be able to get you some savings from Parcel Safety. Because let's face it, guys, you know, the world is not a great place. This is a tool. If you don't remember from 2 days ago on Monday when we started, the very first thing I talked about in the bug out bag that sits right at the top of my bug out bag is a field protective mask, and there's a reason for that. So, all right, let's go ahead and turn that off and turn that on right there. Okay, let's see here. The next one, let's go to the comments. Let's see here. Prep Stock is only a month ahead of elections. Yeah, I mean, it is. It is. It's a month, 1 month before the elections. But I'm not. Yeah, come to Prep Stock, guys. Prepstock.net. Get your tickets. Nebo, North Carolina, 12th to the 13th of October. That's right. I got that sales pitch like locked in. And the reason is, let's see, what would be the good reason? Oh, because if the world falls apart in November and you have to bug out, you might have actually learned something pretty cool. There's a thought for you. That's a hell of a lot better than going to some of these other events and then going to their vendor's lane, you know. Let's see here. Gunslinger, love your name, broseph. Aloha, Gunslinger. I'm actually from Mililani, Hawaii. Cha-cha-cha. Anyway, let's see here. Cuckfee says, I have actual, if there was actually a milk shortage, the price farmers get for the milk would skyrocket. Yes, it would be good to be a milk farmer. Grow in the milk. No, I don't know why they call him that. Are you a milk rancher? A milk farmer? A milk? No, none of this works. None of this works. But Gunslinger, where are you at, bro? Where are you at? I'm waiting for you to pop in here. Let's see. We're gonna move on to the next one because we're kind of dragging our feet here a little bit for some reason, and we're gonna talk about widespread bank failures. Not a joke. Could very easily happen. Dairy farmer still doesn't fill. It's still I'm growing the cheese. I'm growing the cheese. Those words don't come together for some reason. Verb, noun, adjective. Okay, let's see here. So let's go ahead and talk about the dairy or the dairy. Now my brain is all maxed out. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Widespread bank failures. All right. So, in a simple explanation, bank failures occur when banks become insolvent and cannot meet their obligations, leading to closures. We have seen this. It freaks people out, but the government always steps in and has been able to solve these problems. And yeah, that's what's been happening. So, the economic consequences of widespread bank failures are that people will lose their savings, and credit systems collapse, and economic transitions are severely or I'm sorry, transactions are severely disrupted. Um, Gunslinger says, I'm in the middle of Maine. Pasca, I can't say that, bro. Pascatonics County. Okay. Well, man, I thought I had a little comma Ina with me, I mean, I'm a little butthurt. Anyway, let's see here. So and then we talk about the consequences, of people losing their savings. There's something called a bail-in. You guys don't know about that? You might want to look it up. It is a bad thing where they take your money. Where remember when you said agree, you agreed to bail-ins. You didn't know that, huh? You didn't know that? Interesting. I'm going to be keeping a lot of my money in a sock protected by a Glock. Let's see here. Trigger points for this particular event. Increasing reports of bank insolvencies. We've seen that. Government or central bank announcements indicating systemic risk in banking sector. That we have not seen. Because that means the government, not some stock-int company, not, Enron, not something outside of the government. We've seen that. But when the government actually makes announcements indicating systemic risk in the banking sector, we've got a problem. That will destroy the stock market. And then obviously long lines at the ATMs and banks indicating a bank run. Guys, the big bank run, guys, by the time we get to the ATM, the big people have already done their bank run. They've already transferred their thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars from one bank to another. They've already done it. By the time it gets to us, to where we go, wow, there's a problem, it's already happened. Don't be that person standing in the ATM line trying to get your $400. You should have it already. Think about it. These people are standing in the ATM lines, okay? All the bank runs that we've visibly seen, these people are standing outside the banks by the ATMs because they've already closed the doors, trying to get their money out that they should already have. That $400 that should already be under their mattress. Pretty silly if you think about it. Oh, let's see here. Laser says, has anyone tried to pull $1,000 out of the bank? It takes 3 to 5 days to get it now. I think that is situational, Laser. That is an absolute truth. But I also think that it's situational because I have walked into my bank several times and said, give me $2,000. And they don't say one word to me. Let's see here. Laser says there won't be any money in the ATMs to pull out money. It'll go pretty quickly, but most ATMs can hold between $10,000 and $20,000. If you didn't know that, I used to do that job too. Andy says, I may or may not work bank examinations for a state agency. I don't see a lot of risk banks at this point in time. Andy, good to know, my friend. Good to know. Wait a minute. I may or may not feel that it's good to know. Thank you for that insight, Andy. Hicktown Honey says, I pulled over $500 yesterday with no problems. This is good. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says, should have it in a money belt ready to go. Yes, some people do that, the whole money belt thing. Let's see here. Grumpy Acres Farm is in the house, who's actually ironically, his logo's up on the screen right now. Over there. Oh, I always screw this up. There. Boop, boop, boop. Grumpy Acres Farm's in the house. He says, where are we at? From personal experience, come here, boop. From personal experience, it's easier to get your money out of a community bank than a big national change. 100% true. Cuck Farmer says, when you deposit money into a savings account or check-ins account, that becomes classified as an investment. You lose ownership of that money. 100% true. Nick says, but if there are bank runs and our economy is dead, would cash be useless? I have an abundance of silver and copper bars for a barter system. I did that job too, local. Worst job I ever had. I wouldn't say it was the worst job I ever had. I was actually I never handled the big money in the ATM machines. My job was to collect the checks that people deposited, and which was it was a real pain in the ass because they'd have you driving all over the place, unarmed, and going into these ATM machines, these standalone ATM machines, and getting the checks and logging a few things. I can't really go into a lot of the details, but anyway, and then getting those checks delivered to the bank itself by a certain time in the day, and they didn't give you a lot of time to get that done. And it was always at the end of the day because all the tellers would be so pissed off at you if you showed up late because they had timelines they had to meet as well. It was all very carefully choreographed, and if there was even one hiccup that day, there was a problem. Let's see here. Where we had Jordan says my cash on hand amount is 1 paycheck. Yeah, I think it should be 3. Honestly, I think it should be 3. I'm a proponent of having 3 months worth of bills. You know, however much money it takes you to pay your bills per month, 3 months set aside in cash. Let's see here, Nick. Don't worry about it, bro. It's the grammar police does not live here, and when they show up, they are quickly shooed away. I can read between the line, Nick. You are good to go. Let's see. Oops says same here, Grumpy. Back when I can't even read that. Grumpy says the loco is what calls me to your channel. I thought I was like, that's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. What's Nick saying? Nick says, I did the money for ATMs, banks, and commercial stores. Thankfully, I had my P320 on me. Yeah, they wouldn't let me carry. And it started off, you have to wear like this uniform. And then when I started, people were like following me around, and I was like, no, we're done with that. So I would just wear the shirt, pair of blue jeans, cowboy boots. I just tried to look as, unapproachable as possible. I will tell you that I did have my firearm with me, but when I'm in my car, I'm just driving. The second I get out, I'm working. So I was never armed while I was working and never violated a state law that I'm aware of. All right, let's see. Here, Honey says, I can't convince hubby to keep a lot of money in the safe, but we do have some. It is what it is, darling. It is what it is. Maybe we go to the ATM today and we take out a few bucks here and a few bucks there. Maybe maybe every time we break a 20, we save a few of those dollar bills and just kind of stick them in the corner. That's how Grandma did it. All right, so let's get on this because we're running behind. We are running behind schedule. Trigger points for this particular situation. Increased reports of bank insolvencies, government or central bank announcements indicating systemic risk in the banking sector, long lines at the ATMs, which we just discussed. Now that we've rehashed that, bug out considerations for this particular thing. Cash reserves, which we've pretty much talked about, I think. Keep a portion of savings in cash or tangible assets. People like talking about gold and silver, and I do think it's pretty cool that one of our little friends here on the YouTube side, it tells us he's got copper bars. That's pretty interesting. Barter items. Stock up on items that can be used for barter. We all love barter items. They're the best. Diversified assets. Spread your assets across different banks and in physical forms, gold/silver. Sounds like you're all doing that, so we might be okay. But it's always a good idea to have more than one bank, not bank account, bank. It sounds a little crazy. It sounds a little crazy, but trust me, if something were to go down, you'd be happy you had that bank. Checking on the poll on the YouTube side, the question was what government actions would trigger you to bug out? And currently, declaration of martial law is winning 52%. So I think that's a huge trigger for people. All right. Number three. Severe shortages of essentials. Now we're starting to get down into the nitty-gritty, into the like, hey, this is how I'm directly impacted as an American, as a citizen, as in the guy or girl trying to take care of their family. So that explanation is actually pretty simple. It's with supply chain breakdown. It's something we worry about a lot. All right. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm back. It's gone. Number 2. Drink, drink, drink. That's my new good morning drinking game. So supply chain breakdown, and it can be caused by economic disruptions, natural disasters, or even political instability. It leading to shortages of food, water, or other critical supplies. We've all seen this before. We've lived through this. It can happen. Its impact on society. Well, the first and fourth, we talked about it earlier: panic buying, then looting, and then increased crime rates, as people are going to start to scramble for limited resources. And we've already talked about most of this already this morning. People are like, boom, I'm on, man, boom. They're like Johnny on the spot. Now let's talk about the trigger points. I guess the big one in this particular category is persistent empty shelves. It's like you go to the store every day, and every day the shelves are empty. Dude, it's time to go. It's time to go. This is not going to get better. There's no magical, convoy of Walmart trucks that are going to show up in the next hour or so. It's time to go. And also, another trigger point could be government rationing or restrictions on certain goods. Hopefully you're stocked up and have a plan ready to execute at that point, but that could be one of your triggers. Also, reports of transportation and logistic failures. This is kind of a jump the gun-ish thought process, because it's like, hey, Bobby's a trucker. He rolls with Prime, which actually moves a lot of Walmart trucks, and he's saying Walmart trucks aren't moving. They are not moving. No one can figure out why. They don't know. They're not getting orders. Nobody's filling anything. There's something wrong in Denmark. There's something amiss in Denmark. And then maybe it's time to go. Maybe that could be your trigger point. All right, so bug out considerations for this particular trigger: stockpiles. Maintain a well-stocked pantry with long-lasting food supplies and water purification methods. Solid advice, regardless. Self-sufficiency. Grow your own food, raise livestock, and develop renewable energy sources. Yeah. This is where, and Grumpy says it all the time on his channel, the goal of a prepper is to become a homesteader. And I 100% agree. But the thing is a lot of people will never get to that point because, they stopped making land, and it's not out there to just buy willy-nilly anymore. That is for sure. The cost of land is through the roof. Of course, I did see I was looking at a place in Western Virginia, $777,000, 60.3 acres, self-sustaining, solar, food farm. I mean, multiple sheds, buildings. I mean, it was pretty freaking awesome. So if you guys are interested, if I can get 7 of you, no, let's just make it an even 8. If I can get even 8 of you to go in on this with me for $100,000 a piece, you buy it, I'll run it. When the world collapses, you can run there. Find me in the chat. Find me someplace. Okay, so let's see here. Self-sufficient, a community, and we're talking about bug out considerations for this particular trigger. Build a network with neighbors or other preppers for mutual support. It's like that other gentleman on the YouTube side. It's pretty awesome, and when you can become part of a MAG, mutual assistance group, and then you're actually executing, you're actually doing the things that you're going to plan when one of these triggers kicks off. All right, so I'm going to go to the chat real quick here. On the Andy Pearson says, can't recall where I saw this, a silver or gold bill that you can carry in your wallet and break sections off. I'll post it in Patreon if I can find it. Yeah, that's a great idea. What was the other one? What were they, greenbacks? There's a name for another one that's similar to that. It's basically gold that's infused into this dollar bill that you can use in certain states to buy things with. it's pretty interesting. It's interesting. I don't know if that'll ever work, but it's pretty interesting. Where are we at here? Where are we at here? Nick says, I bought a copper bar. Wait a minute. When I bought the copper bars, I got them at $1.48 a bar at the website I use. They are now selling for $4 a bar. Yeah, I mean, copper's copper, dude. It's just that easy. Grumpy says, remember, precious metals won't fill your stomach up if people decide to not accept it. LP is 100% correct. Diversity in preppers. I'm so correct. Thank you very much, my friend. Cool Quote says, I have money pockets on the inside of my chest rig. That's smart. Preloaded with as well as a cash stash underground. Nice. I like it. I like it. I want a bunker so bad. Let's see here. I am for all PMs, but I'm not buying any until I have a certain number of staple goods like rice. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It should literally be one of the last things that you're into. And PMs is precious metals. It took me a second to figure out whether he was like talking about British, or English, which that would be MPs, or politics or whatever. But I got you, bro. I got you. Oh, let's see here. Nick says, I've got a good diversity in preps, food, water, and ammo. Good, good. Let's see here. Nick says, but local, great live show. Need to get into work. Have a good day. Stay safe. You too, Nick. We'll talk to you later, bro. We'll talk to you later. Where are we at here? Tuck is saying, I think the shelves stayed empty where I live. There'll be massive protests in short order. Those get out of hand easily. Yes. Yeah, when there's no food, it's crazy. When they try to close the doors, people freak the hell out. They kick them in. It's crazy. It's crazy. Grumpy's being very active today, which I like. Told my money guy that I didn't invest in precious metal, brass, and lead. And lead. It took him a minute to understand. Gotcha. West Virginia Pappy says the government is selling a whole town in West Virginia, 1 mile. 1 million starting bid. I don't know that I'd want a whole town, but that is damn interesting. That's damn interesting. Rose, can you loan me the down payment? I gotcha. Let's see here. What do we got here? 604. I don't recognize you, bro. Good to meet you. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. No beer, then fear. Yeah, you run out of beer, then people start freaking out, man. That liquid bread will keep you alive, believe it or not. And I've got to say, guys, we're kind of crushing it today on the YouTubes. We were actually up to 50 people earlier. We're at 42. Rumble's at 12. Rumble, and Rumble's normally kicking our ass. So Rumble, what the hell, guys? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn that off. We're going to move to the next one. I think it's important. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that promo just yet. So the next one, time to drink some coffee. And thank you all for answering the question I had earlier. The answer was goldbacks and silverbacks. All right, so Gunslinger just said something. I'm in on the town. I got you. Gunslinger says no shelf stockers. It's not always a lack of food, or they just don't have anyone to pull from the cooler out back and stock. I got you. I need one with a cellar or a basement. I got you, bro. I got you. Okay, so the fourth one that I picked out was escalating crime and civil unrest. Now, this all would be like, hey, things have gone bad, something major has happened. This is kind of that trickle down, like maybe it's time to go before time runs out. And it's, the explanation is a crime surge. Economic hardships often lead to increased theft, violent crimes, and general lawlessness. Civil unrest. We're talking about protests, riots, and clashes with authorities can make urban areas particularly dangerous. Trigger points for this particular type of event that you might want to think about. The significant increase in local crime rates. Don't think because that you're in the suburbs that you are protected, because you are not. When they run out of stuff to to do when they run off of, when they run out of villainy to have in the towns, the villages, the cities, then they move to the suburbs. And yeah, also protests and riots become more frequent and widespread. And obviously decreased police presence and effectiveness. We've actually seen what that looks like in some of these cities where the police have stopped patrolling in specific areas because there's just not enough of them. There's just not enough of them. Some bug out considerations in this particular category: safety. You need to choose a bug out location that is isolated but accessible. Defense. You need to secure your home and bug out location with secure measures and self-defense tools. You guys, I can't say hint more enough. And obviously you need to have your evacuation routes. Plan and practice multiple routes to get to your bug out location. All right, so we're moving up on our last one. We are running out of time, but I do need to, where is that? I'm going to save that. I'm going to mark that as unread. Man, I really need like 5 people to run this show, to do it properly, to do it good. What was I doing? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, boom. Let's go ahead and turn this one on here. I haven't turned this one on in a while. But I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Where is it at? Where is that? There it is. Boop. All right. So we're going to talk about EMP Shield briefly. Yes, they are a prep stock sponsor. I am an affiliate, and I do have a code, as you can see it on the screen. But here's the reason why I'm telling you this. So they say that when a lot of these companies run their sales, they say, oh, we're only on this day. And then someone forgets to turn the stuff off. Not a joke. So currently, EMP Shield is still running their 4th of July sale, where they've got their prices at 15% off. Now, here's the magic. You can actually use my code, okay, LocalPrepper, all one word, and save $50 on top of that 15%. And I'm here to tell you guys, let me tell you something. I've noticed something. EMP Shield has raised their prices. All of these companies that have affiliateships with, they have raised their prices. Man, my nose is really itchy. Excuse me. So before things get too crazy, if this is something that you guys wanted to get, you might want to go ahead and do something with these guys before things get out of control, and none of my codes can save you enough money to get something like this. So guys, take advantage of that that 4th of July sale, which is still ongoing. It's still in their system. I checked it before we came online here. So just an FYI, just a little hint, just to guys make that happen, because you may run out of time. All right. So looks like we got like 3 in the chats here. What do we got here? All right, let's see here. Okay. So, thank you, 604. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure you hit that notification bell. I'm actually here at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. And I do videos too, which I haven't had a lot of time to do, but I've got a really cool video coming up that's taken a lot of preparation work to build, which is, well, you haven't seen it yet. So, all right, so let's see here. In my area, the past 5 years, there's been a riot in 2 cities and several counter-protest events. Guys, listen, it can happen anywhere. I live in a little bitty town on the eastern shore of Virginia where everybody knows everybody. And we have somebody, and nothing against nothing, but I'm just going to tell you the facts. The facts is we have this one person who is dressed up in full black garb, face mask, ninja cover, black boots, who once a day, just before the sun goes down, gets out of their house, because as we understand it, they are transitioning. I don't understand why, and has a giant 6x4 Palestinian flag on a giant pole, and they just put their headphones on and walk down the street and walk back up the street. It's about a mile. Okay. They do it every day. And people are like, we're not even going to talk to you. We're not even going to give you the time of the day. But I'm telling you this because if this stupidity can reach my small little town, it can reach anywhere. It can reach anywhere, and you should be aware of that. Don't think you're safe. Don't think that yourself. Let's see here. Let's see. What do we got here? Gunslinger says GTFO. I'm not going to say. I'm monetized now, guys. I have to be careful what I say. Of the cities, get out of the cities, people. It's going to be Bedlam and Discordia. Okay. In a matter of weeks, maybe days, if something kicked off. If I know anything about the making predictions, it's very easy to be wrong these days. Let's see. Overhead goes up, prices go up. That's absolutely true. Gunslinger says, I subbed you. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see here. Rose says, what is crazy is when we had a riot, those arrested, we let go without charges. No accountability for damages caused by them, just wrote off. Yes, Rose, unfortunately, that is what's happening in this day and age. It's so here's here's how we fix that problem. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick solution because I am running out of time. The quick solution to that is go to your damn town hall meetings and tell them that if they don't hold these people accountable, what will happen is the businesses will leave and the towns will fold. And then they won't have jobs. Do that on the county level. See what happens. Do it every single meeting and see what happens. Get into your county's business. Get into your city's business. It's not your right. It's your responsibility as a resident. Do that. See what happens. Because once these people find out that they won't have a job because they're either fired because all the business is left or the town folds and they can't afford the paid mayor. No one will want to be the mayor anymore. And you know who's going to be your mayor? Some 85-year-old octogenarian who believes in the way things used to be, but still can't operate his phone. So he's going to have a huge heart, but he's not going to understand how the damn things work. Yeah, fix it now. You won't have these problems. Let's see here. I don't know about that. Oops, I'm not going to put that on there. That's kind of reaching. That's really reaching out there. Out of the city, place short on ammo on your. I'm gonna need maybe need a little bit more consonants or vowels on that one, bro. But I appreciate you. Let's see here. Here we are worried about the convention causing riots that spread to the suburbs. Well, I'm not worried about their convention because they already know that this is so wrong. It's all blown up in their face. Let's see here. Andy says they don't understand the Palestinians will kill them. Yeah, I know. It's to the point where the irony in the situation that I just explained and Andy Pearson is now exemplifying is that we've got to the point where we're done explaining. And we're done explaining not because we're tired of explaining. We're done explaining because there's a mental disorder and they're not listening. After raising 6 kids and 15 grandchildren, you can only say things so much until one day they come back and say, Dad, you were right. The world doesn't care about me. It happens. Okay, so let's get to the last thing because I'm going to be over by a few minutes, but I think it's good that we need to finish this. Let's go ahead and move on to the last one, government crackdowns and martial law, which was the focus of the actual question in the YouTube, which is currently trending. What government actions would trigger you to bug out? And it's 53% martial law. Widespread curfews is 12%, mandatory confiscation. Basically, they take your stuff. 15%, and detentions without due process is 21%. It's kind of funny to watch it fluctuated back and forth, but basically declaration of martial law means run for the hills, which is logical. So Government crackdowns and martial laws. Explanation: martial law. Government may impose strict control measures, including curfews, checkpoints, and suspension of civil rights in an attempt to maintain order. They actually think what they're doing is the right thing. Civil liberties. These measures can severely limit personal freedoms and movement and may be accomplished by harsh enforcement. Yeah. Some trigger points: government announcements of emergency measures or martial law. Pay attention to your government. It's paying attention to you. Increased military presence in civilian areas. Yes, this could be a huge issue. But remember, there are more of us than there are of them, and they can't be everywhere, regardless if they're the good guys or the bad guys. And obviously, widespread arrests and suppression of dissent. That's an issue. If they're arresting people because people are speaking out, then you have a problem. You need to go. You need to get the hell out of there. You need to back off and regroup and come up with a better plan. Now, some bug out considerations. Legal preparedness. Understand the legal implications and have contingency plans for dealing with checkpoints and restrictions. Have a plan regardless. Discreet travel. Ensure that your bug out plan can be executed quietly and without drawing attention. People don't need to see you unloading your garage into the back of your travel van. Okay? Have a plan, execute it quietly. Documentation. Keep important documents, identification, and emergency contacts ready. You may be in a situation where you get caught in a checkpoint and they're like, we need to identify you. I'm sorry, we're not accepting such and such state driver's license. Do you have a passport? Why, yes, I do. So it can help. You remember when they were going during the lockdowns where they were talking about putting up checkpoints at state highway borders, I guess. Borders. Yeah, border checkpoint. I was literally carrying my passport around with me because at that time I was moving back and forth between North Carolina and Virginia weekly. And when I say moving, I mean like physically moving. I was like, I can't get stuck in one of these states that I don't want to be in. So I had that passport with me all the time. Additional considerations for bug out. Timing. The decision to bug out should be made before the situation becomes critical. That's why we're talking about it today, so you can think about it and develop a plan. Early action can avoid panic and chaos. Family and group considerations. Ensure all family members or group members are informed and prepared to execute the plan. All right, I think we're going to drop it off right there. Looks like our poll closed out at declaration of martial law being 51%, being what we're going to, it's going to be, I guess, our major trigger, Let's see here. I'm scanning the chats here. Let's see. Gunslinger says, we speak the same language, my friend. I've stopped wasting my breath on these chuckleheads. Ignorance is bliss, apparently. I got you. There we go. West Virginia Pappy. Many old logging roads here, not on maps. Yes. Jordan says they did that to us when we were stationed in Germany. I believe that. Let's see here. 604 says laminated copy and be humble. Do not comment. Keep it down and quiet. Yes, be humble. All right, guys. I think that's going to be it. Well, I got one for Grumpy's here. Timing. Amen. Did you jump the gun? Probably. In the face of knowing info at the time, we did the right thing. Yes, 100%, my friend. 100%. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it down right now. As usual, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. If you have not subscribed, please contemplate doing that. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description. I've got a lot of stuff set up. I've even started to do the whole YouTube club members thingy. We've got Cool Coat, my first guy, already started making content for it. It's more of a behind the scenes thing. And it's going to be, we're going to have prepper days too. So you might want to check that out. Made a video for you and everything. All right, guys, as usual, stay safe. Have a great day. And I shall see you when I see you. Bye-bye.